right. Hello, everyone. How are you guys feeling? Fired up? OK. I just want to start a little bit by telling you how excited I am about today, because we are all internet businesses, so we spend time behind our laptops, building things, for us, designing features, talking to customers, launching new deployments of Gorgias. And I think today is the day where we all get together in real life, like Emily said, to share our tips and tricks, best practices. And for me, it's a little special. We are a customer-first company, so a lot of us at Gorgias are CSM for customers. Personally, I've been the CSM for a local brand in LA called Glamnetic, and it's the first time I'm meeting the Glamnetic crew in person. So there's Mia here, there's Jackie, so excited to welcome you here and spend some time in person. Last year, we were in this very room talking about the fact that a new chapter for CX is opening up. And I think it's been a pretty crazy last 12 months. We went from a world where we were like, hey, we're going to test AI, launch it on one of our sub-brands to see how that's going, to full deployments in production that are very successful. And I think it's also been an absolute change for our customers. I don't know if you've had this experience, but personally, when I speak with my family who's not in tech at all, I tell them hey, they ask me what's your job? So I'm like, okay, let me try to explain in plain English. And I tell them, hey, we build an AI that automates support, drives sales when you're shopping online, and then we build a help desk for humans to take care of the most complex conversations. So when I share that, I'm quite proud and excited about what the Gorgias team is doing here. And then they look at me and they're like, oh, that's a chatbot. And then they frown, it's no. And I think pretty much all of us in this room have been burned by the chatbot experience of hey, it looks smart, but it's not actually smart. And that's the vibe I'm getting from my family at times. And so I'm happy to rectify that. No, it's not a chatbot. It's fast. It's hyper-personalized. It works really well. And every time I use it, personally, I get an amazing experience. So I think that's how far we've come. We started from the chatbot image to something that's actually working really well with customers. And so I'm super excited to talk about all the progress we've made today. First, let's talk about everyone in this room. So there is 7,000 brands that have adopted AI agent to this day. It's about half of the Gorgias customers. So I want to thank you for jumping on this adventure. And also want to celebrate some of the results that we've had. Yeah. The best of you automate 40% of your support. So this is already really solid performance, and I think this number is only going to go up. Emily talked about the fact that things are not easy in e-commerce right now. The average brand on Gorgias saves $130,000 a year thanks to AI, so really impressive here. And that usually translates to about half of the level 1 team having a cost reduction here. And we'll talk about this a little more, but I think that's exciting. But I think we have something that's even more exciting, which is now the team can focus on things that are much better for the business, which is conversion, much more impactful. And so we go from sharing Wismo, link to tracking portals, to having conversations around what is the right product for me. And what we've seen is that conversion for brands that have adopted AI agent is up 2x. That translates to, right now, 70K revenue uplift. So it's roughly a whole person working on this and driving revenue. And we are at 4% GMV lift. So you may be hey, that's a lot of numbers. What do they mean? But I think this 4% GMV lift is something that's very meaningful, because as a brand, you have your email marketing strategy, you have your SMS marketing strategy, and I think you're going to have your conversational sales strategy that's starting to truly have an impact and help you grow. And so that number is at 4% today, is going to keep rising, and that's very exciting. Let's talk a little bit about our community here at Gorgias. So we are a community of 16,000 brands from all industries, from apparel, beauty, for brands that have stores on Abbot Kinney here in LA, to brands that are fully digitally native. And we've welcomed 1,500 brands this year. So thanks to all of you who have decided to join the Gorgias platform. Like really excited to have you part of this group. And I hope you're going to enjoy this day here, like speaking with like all the partners, all the merchants in the room. And there was a Beyoncé concert last night that some people went to. We welcomed the Rihanna brand, Fenty Beauty as well on Gorgias. So some celebrity brands as well, which is always cool to have. And what I want to do is spend a little bit of time talking about some of the best brands that have been having the most impact here. So who in this room knows Dr. Bronner? Okay, their marketing team is pretty good. and so they're like a natural soap company doing like 200 million in sales. And they joined from Salesforce to Gorgias last year. Our CX team, I think I'm seeing like some of the folks of the Gorgias CX team here has been doing a wonderful job here. Like we have this program called 50 and 50, which is in 50 days, we get you to 50% automation. And he's been very successful with Dr. Bronner. Like we got to like that number, like 50% automation rate, $160,000 in savings. And all the while, the CSAT went up. So better customer experience, everybody wins. So really happy about this. There's another example I want to share, which is Pepper, which is a lingerie brand that launched right after COVID. So at the time, they were like 5 million in GMV. They've grown to 6 figures now, so like extremely successful. And what's interesting about them is that they not only have been successful automating CX to the same level as Dr. Bronner, they were able to like reallocate all the time that was saved to be selling. And so you can see some of these metrics on the slide. AOV is up, conversion is up, which means now like the business is more successful thanks to the support team being a driver of revenue. All right, we talked a little bit about our values at the beginning of this presentation. And I think the most important value that we have here at Gorgias is to be customer first. And I remember like with Alex, my co-founder, like in the early days of Gorgias, like when you convince a customer to like jump on your platform, it's like, so first, like we're really excited. We're like, okay, like that's awesome that we're both seeing value in this. But I feel like it's more of a commitment because like some people bet their career on like, hey, I'm gonna like change this whole thing that was working well to this whole other thing that I think is gonna work much better. And Mia is probably like a good example of that over at Glamnetic. And so what I want to share with you all is that we take this commitment like very seriously, and I think like as you embark on the Gorgias journey, on our side, like we feel like we owe you to like make the product better every single year, so that you can yourself then service better your own customers and be customer first yourself. So let's highlight a couple of the cool things that we've added to improve your customer experience in the last 12 months. The first one is AI agent on chat. We're going to do a demo in just a second. Who was here last year? Okay, pretty good. And so like we demoed at the time AI agent on email, which was like much slower. I would say like would take like 1 minute to respond. Like that was the beginning of AI. Now we launched chat, much faster, a much better experience. So really excited to show you that today. And I think it gives a true human-like experience on chat. All right, the second thing we launched is a lot of actions. It's cool to have AI that can provide some information about the products, about like the policies of your business, but it's even better when you can do like a full resolution of the problem. So things like changing shipping addresses, resending orders, adding things to cart, like all that is now possible with AI agents. And what's cool is that when you are a customer, you talk to AI agent, and AI agent is able to like fully resolve your problem. So you don't even have the time to be like frustrated about something. It's like, okay, like I mentioned I have a problem, boom, a few seconds after, problem is resolved. All right, so that's the AI side of the world. We have 50,000 people using Gorgias every day in the help desk. And so we also want to make the experience better. So our team has been hard at work to redesign the navigation to make it smoother so that you can spend more time responding to your customers and adding value. Then I think something that I hear a lot in presentations is that, hey, every customer is different. We should treat them differently. But in practice, it's hard to do. So one of the things we've done is support labels for customers. So you can say, hey, my VIP, I'm going to like assign them to a given team. My fraudsters, like, of course, they're going to get like some special treatments. Like the folks that have like shipping issues, same stories. Like I'm going to prioritize this because the warehouse has to like make those edits before the packages go out. So now like you can give a tailored experience to every single customer that comes in. All right. So I think in the AMA last year, we talked a little bit about analytics. And you guys mentioned like there were some improvements that needed to be made on that front. So we've done quite a few things here with like save filters, improved dashboards. We've improved the overall performance as well. And one of the things we've added as well is the ability to build your own dashboards within Gorgias. So if you want to know like, hey, how is it that I'm doing, build your own like view of the business, that's possible, and that's something that we're going to keep investing on. And last but not least, we've improved our phone workflows significantly. So are there some people in the room using phone on Gorgias? Cool, okay, quite a few. So we are building that up because what we found is that you need to have like custom dashboards to see like, hey, what's going on live with my customers. You need to have queues, you need to have routing. And so all this has been added to Gorgias. And I think now like we're getting to a spot where our phone platform is like pretty robust and can support like larger type customers. Finally, one of the key strengths of Gorgias is to integrate with your whole stack. And so what we've been doing is adding more and more integrations. So you can see like some of them here on the screen. And what we're going to keep doing is connect with more and more of your business over time. So we made these improvements to Gorgias as e-commerce is getting harder. I think like we had like the COVID years where like we had to adapt to a new world, then things accelerated, then the cost of acquisition went up, and now we have like tariffs that are like creating uncertainty in the ecosystem. So it's not an easy job to be running an e-commerce store in 2025. At the same time, I think what's really exciting is that customers' expectations are changing. So I don't know about you guys, but personally, I've started like shopping quite a lot, talking to an LLM of like, hey, like this is what I'm looking for. Like, please recommend a brand or two. I looked for like glamorous nails, and I was fortunate to find Glamnetic as like the first suggestion. So like you guys are doing LLM optimization pretty well, is what I learned from doing this. And so we're not alone. Like 60% of customers are starting their shopping journey from speaking with an AI. So the world is starting to change. And what's interesting is that the things that worked in the past are not going to work in the future. So, for instance, on our side, like we've built like autoresponders at the beginning of Gorgias because that was the expectation of the industry. Now we can do much better than that. So, I think the big learning here is that e-commerce as a whole is going to change. Like right now, the way we shop is through a few steps. So there's the discovery process, which is you go on Instagram, you go on Google, or you know the brand through friends. Then you go on the website. When you're on the website, like you search or you like scroll through products, you find what you want, add to cart, buy, and then you're re-engaged. Like if you buy something from Glamnetic, you're going to get an email that tells you, hey, welcome to our community, and then like be notified about product drops. That's the experience that we've been seeing. But I think all of that is changing now. On the discovery side, people are going to shop increasingly from LLMs. So that means LLMs know a lot about you. And so when you want to discover products, what you can do is talk to the LLM. The LLM is going to like make recommendations, and then you can like find what you want. The experience is also going to change a lot on the website itself. So we talked about search and scrolling product pages. I think chat and conversations are going to take a more important place because you just want to continue the conversation you had on this like LLM experience to when you're on the store of the merchant. And last but not least, the engagements that we are getting from the brands. Right now, they're like one-to-many segmented. And I think that's also going to change. Like there's the opportunity to have something that's way more of a shopping assistant experience that knows everything about you and that's going to make the right recommendation, as opposed to like, let me send my campaign to like a couple thousand people. So that brings us to, I think, today being a very interesting day, because when you reflect on all this change, you're like, okay, like it's pretty clear that the world is moving in this direction. But the question is like, who's going to lead that change? And I think there's no better people than everybody in this room to drive this new world. We are already in conversations with customers all day. We used to like making these right product recommendations. So we are like the best position as like CX teams, e-com teams, and us as your partner with Gorgias to make this new conversational world a reality. So when I thought about this presentation, I was like, hey, like, what is the one thing that matters? And I think the one thing that matters is that I think we all excited about like where is it that we are going with this conversational commerce trend. But the question is more around like how do we make it a reality for our customers? So I want to spend the next few minutes with the team to talk about how is it that we can accelerate this transition to AI agents and accelerate the AI transformation of your business. All right, you ready for this? Cool, okay. So step one, we'll start with the easy stuff. Launching your AI agent. So let's say you're bought into the vision, you're like, okay, I'm gonna get started and launch it. So here is what you need to do. A few steps, collect your knowledge. That means you're gonna like set up your hub center properly. I'm sure like a lot of you have hub centers up and running, like you might wanna do a few tweaks to like refresh it. You're gonna like have all your SOPs, these Google Docs that you use to train like new agents. You wanna upload them into AI agent. And then finally, what you wanna do is to connect Shopify so that we have like all the product descriptions, all the articles that have been written on the blog, so that AI agent can like successfully respond to customers. So we do that. I would say like that's something that is like the first step, a quick win that you can get. Then there's something a little harder, which is connecting all your stack to AI agents. And so that means you need to connect Shopify, you need to connect loop returns, like we talked about like all the sponsors, like Recharge, like all that. You want this to be connected to your AI agent so that it has the ability to make edits to any order that you, any like orders, to like conversations, to like create new like cards for customers. All right, so let's take a look and dive into what that looks like in practice. Cool. So hold on one sec. I'm just gonna set up my phone. Cool. So what I want to show you is that once you've done these things, like connect your AI agents, set up your actions, like what is the experience going to be like? So here, I was last night, obviously, like shopping for some pretty cool products from Glendetic. Like I got excited about a nail, and I was like, hey, okay, I'll just buy it. And of course, I was rehearsing from this presentation, so I was a little distracted, and ordered for like this address here in LA. So I just realized that I think I need to like change my shipping address. So it can be like, hey, I'd like to change my shipping address to San Francisco. All right, so let's see. So here we open up the chat. I'm talking to Gina, which is the name of the agent for Glendetic. And so what Gina is doing is like fetching information from all the knowledge that we've uploaded. And first it responds and acknowledges that it got my message. So like you see, like it happens within like just 3 to 4 seconds, so like really fast. And then it says, please verify your email using the button below and confirm your address. So I just need to log in, essentially. All right, so I'll do that. So my email is romainl@gorgias.com. Email me anytime for any support request. And I'm actually serious. I took some this morning. All right. So let's do it. So I get a short code. All right. Boom. OK, so I'm logged in. Cool. So let's see. So now Gina has access to my orders. She can fetch the history of my orders. She can see like where I'm at in the process. So she's telling me, hey, Romain, I'm looking into your order. Let's see how that goes. All right. Please confirm your order number and provide the full new shipping address. All right, let's try. I don't know my order number, but here is the new shipping address I want to use. And of course, Let's see, I think I have a little shortcut that should help me. All right. That's the San Francisco office. If you want like in-person support, that can also be done. All right, so it's looking it up. Let's see. Okay, so it fetched my order. Is that correct? So 180 cents. Yeah, perfect. I confirm. Let's do it. Okay. Go for it, Gina. Okay, working on this right away. And so what's happening behind the scenes is that we fetched the Shopify order, we looked up the shipping address, we validated that the address that I just shared is actually usable in Shopify. You know, like at checkout, they have this address validation. And then we just make the API call to Shopify. And not only to Shopify, because a lot of you have warehouse systems. And so like it's sure you can change it in Shopify, but now you need to like go do this change also in other parts of the stack. And so that also does it in Chipmunk, so that when the order is going to ship, it's not going to go to Hudson Loft here today, but it's actually going to go to the SF office. Cool. So there we go. It's been successful. I'm the type of person that's polite with AI, so I'll just say thank you. All right. Cool. Oh, we'll never see the response. She said, I appreciate that. Cool. All right. So that's the first step. We're getting a lot of value from this. And I hope that you're feeling some excitement of like, hey, like I can level up my customer experience with this. But now I want to talk about the hard stuff, because I think there's a lot of easy wins like this where you turn things on. But the harder part is that you need to change your workflow to like constantly coach your AI. So with that, I want to invite Mia to the stage, who's been working on this problem for a year. She's the director of CX at Glamnetic, to talk about this.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mia. I'm Senior Director of Customer Experience at Glamnetic. And I'm very excited to be here. And first of all, shout out to Gina, our AI, for changing Roman's shipping address. Hey, we have to recognize AI as well. So I'm here to basically talk about the work that we've done with AI and the effort that we put into making sure that it actually is responding as a regular agent. And to do that, what you have to do is basically be super focused on QAing your AI agent. And what we do is, we have a process of checking 10 tickets every day. Jackie, who's here in the audience, and I could not do it without her. She has helped QA over 5,000 tickets for us, and it's been such an amazing overall experience, because we've seen how AI agent has transformed its responses, and it's now performing as one of our top agents. And not only that, by doing this transformation, we've also been able to kind of shift and change how we operate. We're now fully focused, instead of just putting so much effort into training our agents, we're now shifting that time and training our AI to be the most successful agent in our team. And so with that, I also want to show a little demo. Right here. Let's see. So we're good there. Okay, so excited to show you a live demo on how we train AI. And okay, so here we have a ticket example where someone emailed and said, what's the money back guarantee policy? And AI agent here basically responded and said, I can definitely help with this question. Just a moment while I check. We offer a 7-day money-back guarantee, and at that point, if Jackie is queuing this ticket, and we recently actually changed our guarantee process, she, little light bulb, hey, something's wrong. What's happening? So what we do, let me just go back here so that you can see it. I go on the right-hand side panel and click AI feedback, And then I can see here that the AI used a guidance into knowledge sources to respond. So overall, what I can do here is, give me 1 second, review response. Perfect. We can review the response right here. And I can see, OK, there's a guidance that was used. I now have to update the guidance to reflect the new guarantee policy that we have. So I'm going to click here. And this is taking me to the guidance where we provide most of our standard operating procedures and how we want Gina, our AI agent, to respond to customers. And so here I can see it says, when we were testing earlier, it said 7-day, but we have now updated it to 14-day. So we save that as we were testing earlier. And by that, what we're going to do is now, let's see, going to test out the change. So just pretend, oh, there it is, 7 days. Let's see. Oh, 1 second. One more.
Yeah, you should tap to the right.
It's this one, right?
Another one.
And this one.
There we go.
Perfect. Sorry, guys, I went to go see Beyonce last night as well, so I'm a little rusty right now. OK, so let's see. I want to check that Gina is actually responded with that correct information. So this is a test area right here. And what we asked is what's the money back guarantee? And then Gina overall responded with the correct information after her testing. And if I wanted to test again, what I could do is just one more time, do this and send. And we'll wait for Gina to do her magic. And it just takes a couple of minutes, but I just want to emphasize how important it is for everyone to take time to train your AI agent as you are training a new member of your team. This also, if you compare when you're training regular agents, you may have to do reinforcement training. With AI, you just provide the instruction, and you're good to go. You don't have to do a lot of reinforcement training with AI unless there's a change in policy. So again, we tried, and Gina responded with the same information that's accurate after the change with the 14-day money-back guarantee. So that's how fast you can optimize and iterate your AI agent to adapt to your business policies and make any changes. If there are any sudden edge cases that can happen in your business, you want to also make sure that not only are you informing your agents, but you're also making sure that you're updating the guidance with the most up-to-date information and policies and how you want the AI agent to respond. Great. Thanks, everyone.
And I just want to stress that last point because there's a bit of a wow effect at first when AI agent is working, but then becomes the journey of hey, how is it that we're going to make it better day after day? And that's truly this process that you need to repeat over and over again, create these tickets. You need to train your AI like you're training an agent, pretty much. So I think that's why it's important to talk about this. Cool. All right. So now that brings us to, I think, a pretty exciting moment of the journey, because this is all the gains we can get in the support world, which means we're going to be more efficient, better customer experience. We're going to save some money at a time where our businesses need it. But like Alex likes to say, support is something that's usually not the most sexy part of the business. And I think now we have an opportunity, us as a group, to shine under the spotlight. So let's talk about this. And for this, I'm inviting Max over to the stage.
Hey, everyone. I'm Max, VP Gorgias, and I'm excited to tell you about what we've been building at Gorgias today about this AI shopping assistant. And so before we deep dive, I would love to zoom out for a minute and ask ourselves, what if we build an experience where we feel that shopper is more understood than targeted? And if we look at the current playbook, we are shooting messages, ads, emails, SMS to the user on-site, off-site, and basically we are kind of like overwhelming the user. And what's happening is we hope that somewhere, somehow the message will click, but the user feels like marketing fatigue. And so what we do is we send like recommendations, incentive, product recommendation, but it's still like a challenge to convert the user. And at Gorgias, we have a strong belief that the future of marketing and communications is more about listening smarter and not like shooting like louder and louder to the user. And like all those different solutions are like a one-way street. So we bombard the user, but we don't really know like what they want, what they expect, what's the best way to address like the concern they might have about specific products. And so we also believe that the future of communication is like enabling like a two-way conversation that can address like any concern that the user might have. And all those different issues, while I mean all the techniques are working, we can reach out to the users, lead to like a lot of like missed opportunities, and user feels like not supported. We are not addressing like the concern they have on the user journey, and so we have a lot of users that feel like unsupportive, that the dropout is concerning, and so all the marketers that I'm talking with like every day are feeling the same concern and the same challenges about driving conversion up, driving like a higher IOV, bringing like a good, solid experience for the users, and loyalty as well. This is where we are introducing like AI shopping assistant at Gorgias. We want to be like the future of like a concierge premium service for any users, available like 24/7 on the website that can support like any shoppers at any time on the website. At Gorgias, we support like direct-to-consumer brands. And so we've been building these technologies to basically help brands addressing like any shoppers at any time on the website. And the reality behind is, because we got like this strong, specific focus on like direct-to-consumer brands, is we have built like the foundation of this software to know everything about the brand and everything about the shopper. So we know like which product do you have, what is the inventory, what are your best sellers, what is basically like the most associated product to something, and we also know everything about the shopper. So we know where they are coming from, which ads they've been clicking on, which email campaign, where they are coming from in terms of like overall channel, what they've been browsing, what they've been searching on the website. So we know like all of this context. And because of all of this context, we're able to compute in real time a buying intent. So we know like how likely we might be able to convert this user. And if we think about it, chat and conversational commerce exists for like quite some time. We got humans are following like a playbook with like all those different phases, discovery phases, objection phases, conversion phases. And what we wanted to do is to take this playbook and to build it with AI on steroids with data. And so we are able to understand exactly where the shopper is at on the journey and being able to basically support him through the conversion. So we've been starting to launch this product with some customers like a few months ago, and we've been like seeing impressive results. So that's what we're like sharing a little bit later. But like this is all about like what we're building, understanding the shoppers, understanding the brands to offer like a very solid experience. And we also believe at Gorgias that the future of like AI agent is not just about the conversation by itself, but it's about making the experience conversational from the get-go. We need to find like all those entry points and fix all like the cumbersome experience. And search is a big one of it. Search is basically driving like 50% of the GMV on the website. 50% of the users are basically buying after searching something on the website. And 15% of any session will do search at some point. But the experience is kind of cumbersome if you think about it. You type something, you got thousands, if not hundreds of different products. You need to filter, you need to go on a page, go back. And it's a lot of like back and forth that is creating some frictions. And here, basically, we are going to use our technology to customize and to send like a unique message for anyone on the user based on all the journey they had on the website before. And so they will be seeing a message that will facilitate the discovery experience on the website. It means that you type something and you get this message prompted to basically like fast track the discovery process to offer like a real, solid one-to-one experience for any shoppers on the website. Next is about proactive assistance. We want to make sure that we can trigger the conversation at the right time for the user. And so we've been building a set of features. The first one is like proactive questions. So you are on a product page, and our AI is able to basically like identify the most likely questions the user might have. So you might see like 3 up to 4 different questions that are like the most asked questions. We've been releasing those features to a set of merchants a few weeks ago, and we are seeing like incredible results. This feature by itself is driving like 6% CTR and 50% of the overall GMV on these channels. So basically, like instead of reading like a long product page with like all those informations, you can just get like the right question you might have at the specific moment. And we are also delivering some other features to have like these proactive assistance. One of them is basically like AI is able to identify like a stagnant user, someone like not moving forward on the process, or someone like with an intent exit. So basically we can catch it at the right time and trying to engage the conversation at the right moment with the users. And everything is also about like product recommendation. So we need to make sure we are sending like a relevant product recommendation. And because we know like all the context we have, we are able to trigger the right product recommendation and also some upsells based on the strategy you might have been setting up on Gorgias. Because we want to give like to merchant control. Every brands are different and every brand has different tactics. And so we are giving you the possibility to set basically like the assertiveness of the AI. So you want to be like very educative. You want to make sure that basically you got like all the different discovery questions to make sure like you guide the user through like a deep dive, basically due diligence to make sure you got the right process. Or some of the brands want to be like more like promotional, assertive, like reduced educational questions, reduced basically discovery phase, and trying to push for the right product a little bit earlier, and also to push like a little bit more, I would say like promotionally with some upsells. And so this is where we've been building this different control. So we are giving like you guys as a brand basically control on like how AI is behaving on your website. And so this is something that will be like adjusting the playbook on the website to make sure that this sales playbook understands where the user is at and basically what should be like the right next step for the user. And also like discount and incentive is a big part. Incentives helps a lot to convert inductive buyers. And so because of the intent buying we have been building, so we understand if the shoppers like might need basically like some kind of like help to convert, and we might be able to trigger the right discount at the right time for the users and to increase conversion. So instead of like shooting discounts to anyone on the website, we are just going to trigger the right discount at the right time for some users who might need a discount basically to convert and saving on margin. And right now I'm excited to show you the product with a demo. Okay, here we go. So I want to show you like the three different kind of experiences about like how to trigger a conversation. So Seeking Help is one of our customers using the latest feature we've been releasing. They are selling supplements. And so I'm on a page that basically advises for like a few focused products to help you guys focus. And so I'm going to open like one of the different pages here. So this is like a product page. As you can see, like you got like all the information on the product. And you got at the bottom like this new way to engage the conversation. So this is like the Ask Anything AI. So we also think that ChatGPT is paving the way about like being conversational. And we want to be able to have like this floating input available at any time, removing any friction to engage the conversation on the website. And as you can see here, I got like those questions, and this is what I was talking, like the conversation starter, like the product questions to basically engage the question of the shopper. So I can get like, hey, what does optimal focus support? So I click on this button and I'm engaging the conversation and AI will take over. And so the AI, what it's doing right now is scrapping like all the product information you might have on the website or like the information on Shopify to basically provide the best answer as possible. And obviously looking at like any guidance you might have built, anything to basically craft the best answer to that specific question. And so here we go. We should get the feedback. So optimal focus is a stimulant-free supplement that supports health memory, cognitive functions. All right, that sounds pretty good. Let me try to. Hey, we got this upcoming release at work, and I would love definitely to get some help to stay focused for the next few weeks. All right, let's see what AI thinks, and definitely like taking any help I can get. All right. Cool, so I got this answer, so let me check on the optimal focus in case report during your busy time. So the statements have not evaluated by the, okay. This product is not intended to diagnose any trait, okay. To help you stay focused, so I got this recommendation, and there is an offer, buy one, get one, buy three, get free. And I'm gonna ask like, does this contain any caffeine? Okay. That will work. Yeah, that will work. Exactly. And so as you can see, I can get this conversation, get engaged through the process. AI is able to basically like understand my specific, and so my specific concern, get the answer. So I think we got the idea. And I want to switch to like another experience. And obviously, I need to demo Glamnetic. We have the amazing team of Glamnetic here. And I want to show you something interesting. It's the search. So we've been discussing about the search and how search might be a little bit broken as a user experience. So I'm going to type like red nail for occasion. All right. So here we go. So I got like this page. There is like 20 different products. It's interesting, and I want to show you like basically like a typical example of like AI, like thinking I might be a bit lost in my search experience and suggesting like a specific message for me to address like this specific need. So here is basically AI doing the job. So looking at a boiled red nail set for perfect any occasion. So this message is unique, tailored to me. If you do the same experience, you can have a different message. It's looking at all the things I've been doing on the website before, the ads I'm coming from, if I've been like maybe like browsing some other products. And this is like the power of AI, like stopping like to send like static messages, programmatic messages, but like really like a one-to-one way to engage. And so sure, looking at short red nail. All right, let's go. So this is the typical Glamnetic experience. I'm getting like an expert into that field as well, such as Romain, knowing everything about Glamnetic product and nails.
And you appreciate the nail emoji?
Yeah, exactly. Like you see, you got like the perfect color here. All right, so it's basically like fetching the product, looking at everything, and here is actually like some kind of like suggestions. So I'm getting like two different things. I'm getting like recommended products and also like qualifying questions. So it's asking like, are you looking for a specific shape to make sure I can get like the right recommendation? So it's kind of like an in-between strategy where basically I can get like immediate recommendation, but also like offering me to refine the experience to make sure I got like the most relevant product ever. And I want to show you like a last example. So Attitude is one of our customers. So they are saying like bedding sheets and towels and all those different kind of products. And let's look at this product, for instance. And I want to chat here, and I want to ask, what is this made of? So typical example where basically like you start the conversation, and obviously you don't need to pass the context of the product, where you're at, what is the product you've been browsing, and so AI got this context and is doing the job again about like looking at like all the information we've been able to scrap, all the information containing on the Shopify, previous conversations, and also my own experience on the website. If I've been browsing for some other products, it might be recommending. And so this product is made of clean bamboo, eco-friendly. Okay, that sounds cool. So, but what is the difference between clean bamboo and organic cotton? Oops, not curtain. That's my French accents playing here. All right, here we go. All right. So this is a premium bedding sheet. So definitely like curious to learn more about like this specific product here. All right, so this is a sustainable source bamboo from an iconic, okay, non-toxic solvent. That sounds great. Any recommendation to wash it? All right, let's see what AI can offer us. But as you can see, like AI is able basically to do like all the product discovery, answering my questions, and so definitely I'm seeing the discovery phase. At some point, I might be maybe like getting like an incentive, an offer based on the question I'm getting. All right, and actually I got this discount. I didn't ask for it, but this is interesting what you can look at here. So I've been having this tab open on my phone for quite some time. So AI might be thinking that I'm kind of like passive buying. And so it answered my questions. So it's a cold wash, a gentle cycle. And AI also like trigger discount because maybe he's thinking that I might be like an hesitant shopper, and I got like this 20% code just for me. It's a unique code for Shopify. So I might be like buying it. So yeah, that's the kind of like demo I wanted to show you. So there's like new way to engage the shoppers. We think that conversational commerce can remove like all the friction on the buying journey. And those are like the different features we are rolling out because again, we believe that AI agent is not just about the conversation by itself, but it's about like finding like the new entry points to address the customer pain point in the journey and make the journey much more efficient. All right. And here are the metrics and the data we've been seeing. So we have a 30% uplift on the average order value for all the orders made on AI shopping assistants. And we are also seeing 75% of uplift in chat rate conversations compared to human. AI got so much of data, so much of context that is able to fine-tune the answer to anyone at scale. It's also like much faster. You don't have to wait for a human to basically answer in a few minutes. You got 10, 15 seconds on the average to get an answer, which is like a much faster experience. And so this is like very encouraging numbers in terms of like offering like a better experience, faster experience, and that also helps brands driving more GMV. And in terms of ROI, we are seeing like a 13x ROI for brands that have been using like this AI shopping assistant. And there is one more thing. At Gorgias, we believe that the future of marketing and communication and engagement is this two-way experience. And as I was referencing in the past on this presentation, like we've been seeing this playbook about like shooting messaging and broadcasting messaging in a one-way conversation to users. So we're all getting those texts, those emails where we don't really reply to. It's not made to be replied. And we want to build a future of marketing automation. We want to enable this, and we want to offer this experience at scale for marketing and outbound capabilities at Gorgias to make this experience possible for shoppers. So basically engaging the conversation with the shopper, making sure that basically we can address like any need at any time. And if you think about it, the current logic of marketing automation is basically relying on like this programmatic playbook, where you basically build like the if then else about your segment, audience of people, which is still a big bucket of people, dozens, hundreds, maybe thousands. And basically it's not like a one-to-one way to engage with shoppers. And so we want to get rid of this aspect, and we want to have like AI at core to basically drive marketing automation at scale for anyone. We also want to get rid of like the static flows, because right now when you set up like marketing automation, you might be using different tools for different channels, and we think that basically AI needs to get this all context. And we want to build like the future of marketing automation that is channel agnostic, where you can reach out to users whatever they are and understanding the big picture. And we also want to facilitate the experience. We want to get rid of like the static flows about like I'm sending this email, maybe 24 hours I've got this over static email. We want to make sure that basically we can drive conversion at scale and offering like this one-to-one premium concierge experience, not just for support, but also for marketing and for growth for the business. And the core technology we've been building about like this all conversational AI things, we want to bring it to marketing and offering like new outbound capabilities at scale for users. All right. Thank you. To you, Romain.
All right. How did you like what you've seen? Cool. Good to hear. All right. So one thing I want to talk about is the fact that everything you've seen here is real. So what better thing than an actual customer example to show you the impact? I pulled the data working with Mia because, of course, we're like, OK, like we're spending all this time. We want to make sure that it's actually paying off. So first of all, good news. Glamnetic is a brand that is crushing it, growing 30% in the last 12 months. So like the business is in good shape. And then when we look at this transformation, at the beginning we talked about the fact that last year we were like tinkering with AI and figuring out like where we would go. We were at like 15% automation rate. Now we're like at 66. So like that's like a huge jump for the Glamnetic team. But I think the more important thing is that each of these conversations used to make about $4 before we launched AI and all the plays that Max talked about. And now we're closer to $7. So that means that we are changing the conversation from being support-oriented to being more about retaining the customers and selling more to these customers. And so here is a quote from Kevin, who's I think at this point a friend of mine, who was saying like, hey, like I've seen a true transformation in my CX department. Now it's a way to drive revenue forward and to drive the business forward, which is absolutely fantastic to see. And I think the good news is that last year was like year one of this thing. This is year two. Like, look at how much progress we've done in 1 year. I'm just like, I can't wait to like literally be on this stage next year and be like, okay, like this is everything we've done together. So I think the next 12 months are going to be super bright, and I look forward to that.